How's it going, guys? Dragonstar Abduction here, back with another What If video, and in this edition of Dragon Ball What Ifs, we'll be covering probably the most popular What If on my channel, that being What If Shallot Was Canon Part 7. And if you guys haven't seen Part 6, make sure you click that little box in the top right corner, and or scroll down to the description, so that way you can watch Part 6 before Part 7, because, well, this one doesn't make any sense. And then with that being said, let's jump straight into the video intro. Alright, so our story begins right after the defeat of Golden Frieza, while Shallot, Kakarot, and Vegeta, instead of going back to Beerus's planet for some training, they decide to stay on Earth for a little while, because Shallot wants to do some sparring with Leek, as well as Vegeta with Trunks, and Goku with Gohan and Goten. But we're going to be talking about Shallot and Leek here in one of their training sessions. The two would start in base and then charge up into Super Saiyan, as the two would then punch each other almost at an equal rate. Then Super Saiyan 2, until the two finally would end up charging up to their max, just to be caught off by Blonde Launch, yelling at Shallot for never coming home from his training, and Shallot instantly had fear take over his body, gets a gut punch from Leek, gets knocked to the ground, but then promises to his wife that he's going to visit while training more often. And with that being said, after that all happens, Shallot would then decide to actually go to Namek so that he could use their Dragon Balls to revive Tien, but besides that, nothing really special happens here. At least on Earth, because over on Beerus's planet, both Beerus and Whis have some special guests arrive on the planet, that being Champa and Vados. Obviously, this leads to the Tournament of Destroyers, with one rather big change being that Shallot is going to replace Majin Buu in this tournament, and with that being said, the tournament starts with none other than Kakarot, which means that it typically takes place as normal, as Kakarot would then defeat Batamo, and then his fight with Frost ends up with a defeat after Frost uses his poison needle. However, next up to fight would be Shallot, and Shallot would be taking this tournament extremely serious after hearing that Champa planned on wishing for Universe 7's Earth to be in their universe. So when Shallot enters the ring, he rushes Frost with no hesitation as he charges into Super Saiyan, and Shallot hits Frost directly in the abdomen, causing him to crash face first unconscious. And to mention, when the referee checks Frost's pulse, he finds the poison on Frost's arm, and this actually leads to Kakarot being reinstated into the tournament and being put after Vegeta. Anyway, Shallot remains inside the ring awaiting for his next opponent, which happens to be Magetta, and Champa still brings up the idea of the ring not being safe and they need to box it in. This, however, is strictly to help Magetta use his heat to basically drain Shallot's energy because he's going to be sweating so much. This plan, though, kind of backfires because pretty soon into the fight, Shallot starts complaining about how hot it is, and Shallot then insults Magetta. Shallot, actually seeing that his insults are effective, Shallot actually uses them to his advantage and actually uses one to take him down. God, how hot do you have to make it in here, you oversized mama's vibration toy? And if you couldn't tell already, this was the insult that obviously tipped Magetta over the edge, which leads Shallot into the next match because he won against Universe 6 Saiyan Kaba. And Shallot, seeing another Saiyan, is in quite shock, first acknowledging that Kaba doesn't have a tail, which leads to Kaba explaining the different uprising of the Universe 6 Saiyans. Nonetheless, the two would then charge up in base and launch towards each other, as Kaba does very well but isn't a match for Shallot, because Shallot, like I mentioned before, isn't playing any games in this tournament. He's taking it very seriously, so Shallot kicks Kaba right in the stomach. Kaba goes sliding across the ring just for Shallot to shoot off a final cannon. Kaba catches a blast and actually shows good sign in reversing it, but Shallot powers up into Super Saiyan, and this actually gives him the edge over Kaba, which causes Kaba to go crashing straight to the ground, as Shallot would then calmly state, "This is called Super Saiyan, Kaba. You need to achieve it, and we'll fight again sometime." And with that being said, Shallot awaits for Hit to actually approach the ring, and Shallot doesn't wait, he doesn't hesitate at all, he powers straight up into Super Saiyan Blue. Hit stepped into the ring, and to Shallot's surprise, Hit didn't even seem to be fazed by Shallot. He didn't seem to take Shallot as a threat at all, and in fact, Shallot, noticing this, actually charges fist first right towards Hit, but Shallot's punch doesn't even hit Hit. It basically goes right through him. This, of course, was Hit using his time skip technique. However, Shallot didn't know this. But what he did know that he couldn't let this phase him, and Shallot would then place his fingers on his head and use the instant transmission to actually pop right in front of Hit, nailing a kick right across Hit's jaw. Hit would be surprised that Shallot could actually land a blow on him, and this actually causes Hit to take this fight actually a little bit more serious. Shallot and then Hit would both trade blows back and forth until Hit actually improves himself and his time skip. However, when Shallot sees this, he always tries to get past the time skip, or he simply just has to eat it and get punched by Hit. This works for quite some time until it doesn't, because of the fact that Shallot thought that he had an opening to win and started powering up a final cannon, and when he does this, he once more uses instant transmission to pop up directly right next to Hit, just for Hit to improve his time skip all the way to half a second, and with one single punch, Shallot was eliminated. Everybody from Universe 7 was in complete awe. They were shocked by this, and to Kakarot, who would be replacing Piccolo's spot, would get no advice against Hit. And matter of fact, a battle between Kakarot and Hit pretty much goes the same as Canon, even with Kakarot using his Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. However, like Shallot, Kakarot was eliminated, except Kakarot decided that it is now Vegeta up to bat, because he eliminates himself and he actually thinks that Vegeta can get the job done. However, Vegeta, getting to watch both Kakarot and Shallot, he had a very small plan, but Vegeta knew he had to be on top of his A game if he wanted the plan to work. But as soon as Vegeta would go for his first punch, Hit throws himself out of the ring. Hit doesn't even want to fight Vegeta after realizing what's on the line for Universe 7. Plus, he could tell that Vegeta wasn't any stronger than Kakarot. Oh, and he's seen Monaka, who's actually asleep at this time, so he wasn't too much of a threat either, so he realized. So even if you want to say that Vegeta could have lost to him, because it would still happen, but I want to do it this way because Vegeta, though not getting his chance to fight Hit, would be quite pissed, and Vegeta clenches his fist as he also plans on defeating Hit sometime in the future. It was just a matter of when. And with that being said, everything after this typically goes as canon, with Zeno arriving, bringing up the idea of the Universe Survival Tournament with Kakarot. However, instead of jumping straight into the Goku Black Future Trunks arc, I wanted to talk about the potaufeu arc. Yes, this is filler, but it's pretty fun in my opinion, and I want to basically do a rewrite for this What If. I enjoyed the filler, so with that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed the special thumbnail just for this part of the video. And with that being said, Monaka, just like in Canon, had to deliver a package to Capsule Corp. Goten and Trunks then would fly over and actually get trapped inside the back of Monaka's truck, except this time, in this timeline, Leek had to stop by Capsule Corp as well, except to drop off some coffee for Bulma. And if you forgot why Leek has to drop off some coffee, it's because Erasa, Leek's wife, actually opened Star Zenny coffee shop in the last episode. Anyway, Leek actually heard banging on the back of the door, and Leek ran to the door, opening it, well, at least trying to. The door had been locked, and when Monaka came outside, he completely ignored Leek, saying that he had to go, and also not being able to hear him because, well, he had headphones in. And Leek, knowing that he couldn't let Goten and Trunks leave with Monaka, so Leek would then grab onto the back of the truck, hanging on for dear life, as Monaka would then pull off. However, to Monaka's surprise, Leek would then pull himself inside the window before Monaka pulls into outer space because, well, Leek would die because he can't breathe in outer space. Leek would then explain to Monaka about the kids being in the back of the truck, but Monaka says that he can't turn around. If he does, he's going to be fired for being too late. Leek, actually hearing this, realizes that there's no turning back, but it all worked out for their favor because upon arrival on planet Potaufeu, they were attacked. Leek, with a little strain, was making a mock of Grill, who was the big bad, while Goten and Trunks handled the goons off pretty easily as well. However, while Grill is laid out, he actually notices that a baby pacifier thing is on the ground, where they notice it and they nab it before retreating back to base to where they can actually talk about actually fighting them again. Grill, along with some of his other henchmen, make their way to the room where the superhuman water is. This, as we all know, makes Grill and his lackeys covered in that jelly substance that also lets them gain immense power. Grill then decides to get his revenge, but also wanting to actually get some of Leek's power for himself. And in the meantime, Leek, Goten, Trunks, Monaka, and Potage, who is the guy who was holding the little pacifier thing around his neck, actually go to try to fly off, trying to find the pacifier where they noticed a ship land. This ship was actually Jakku and Vegeta, who was arriving after Bulma had told them to leave on Earth. However, they weren't the only ones arriving. Grill does so as well. Jakku instantly recognizes Grill, but before he could even say anything, Leek had already charged at him. And as for Vegeta, he gathered up Goten and Trunks, saying that there's no point interfering with a fight that they have no business in. But it was when Vegeta says that a purple goo swallowed him whole. Vegeta was covered in it, and then they just spit him out like he was nothing. This then creates Copy Vegeta. Vegeta tries to fight, but then realizes that all his power was drained. This is where Copy Vegeta actually explains what he can do, and he is actually basically the new Vegeta. Copy Vegeta, after the end of his monologue, would actually be caught off guard due to a ki blast shot straight at his back. Copy Vegeta would then turn around to see none other than Goten and Trunks actually fighting their best in Super Saiyan. This actually works for quite some time, as Copy Vegeta smirks as he encourages the two to do their best against him. However, similarly to as in Canon, these two can't even inflict any damage on Copy Vegeta, and Leek actually notices that the two are in trouble, and he charges up to his ultimate form with one single final cannon, obliterates Grill, as he then darts straight towards Copy Vegeta. And I'm actually going to say here that Copy Vegeta is taken aback by this. Leek in his ultimate form is easily outclassing this fake Vegeta. However, the real Vegeta, seeing himself lose, is getting quite pissed. So he screams for the Copy to go all out. This would then lead to Copy Vegeta transforming into Super Saiyan Blue. Copy Vegeta now had the upper hand clearly over Leek. Luckily though for Leek, both Goten and Trunks were able to step back in and help in the fight. Leek and Goten and Trunks tried their combo techniques, and this was actually working for a little bit of time, as Goten and Trunks would shoot Ki Blast together, actually creating almost like a galactic donut technique, capturing Copy Vegeta, while Leek would then power up another final cannon to his max, as he would then directly release the blast under Copy Vegeta. And what does this mean? Well, it means that Leek releases a blast as it completely destroys Copy Vegeta and the goo all on top of him. And all the goo left over is evaporated by this blast as well. This then would conclude the time on planet Potaufeu, because the three would then leave back with Jakku back to planet Earth. And because the next arc gets kind of dark, I'm just going to leave this here, because we're going to be getting into the Goku Black arc. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, especially because I added some filler in, but I felt like it made the video better, and I felt both Shallot and Leek got some love in this video, so let me know what you guys thought, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be seeing you guys in the next video, and that's going to be, as you guys voted for, What If Goten Was in the Future Timeline Part 2. Anyway, Dragonstar Productions is out.
Congratulations, champ. You made it to the end of the video. Now, if you hit that subscription button, that thumbs up button, and that bell icon, you won't catch a dynamite.